Hello, everyone, and welcome to Married to Bravo. Happy Sunday night. We are here. I know this is a different night than I normally go live, but this season I am going to be covering the Real Housewives of Potomac after every episode, after it airs on the Pacific time zone. So if you are joining us live, make sure you smash that like. I'm going to set a like goal. Let's set a like goal. Let's say 200 likes. Let's get to 200 likes. You guys smash that like. If you want to support the channel, Super Chat is a great way to do it while I'm live. Membership right here on the old YouTube. We're going to be talking all about the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7. We got the premiere episode this evening. I'm really excited. And this entire season, I am going to be covering it, recap, and reacting to it with my very hilarious friend and fellow stand-up comedian. She is a fan of Bravo TV. She also has her own channel, you guys, that you need to subscribe to. So she's new to YouTube right now, but she is growing and putting out some fantastic commentary and funny content. So mods, if you don't mind, I did tag her channel in the title, but if you could drop the link, that would be amazing, you guys. Let's get her channel to grow. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my hilarious friend as we start covering this season of Real Housewives of Potomac. So put your internet hands together for Shauna Christmas, everybody. Shauna.
Oh my God. That was so nice.
Oh, how are
Hey,
you, friend?
everybody. Hello.
I'm so excited you're doing this with me.
Yeah, me too. It's a good way to still see you and not actually be in the same place. So this is awesome.
I know, because we're both on the West Coast. We were both in LA. Then you were in New York. And now I'm in Palm Springs. And now you're in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Wow, you got it right. Yeah.
We're all over the place. Yes, it's Joleen time. It is. DGF, you're not late. You are right on time, you guys. And Atharella dropped Shauna's channel link. So definitely let's hit that link. Let's get Shauna growing. Subscribe. But every Sunday you can find her here as we talk about Potomac. Yes. Okay. So have you been watching? I know you're a Bravo TV junkie like me, but you have your favorite franchises, and Potomac is one of them.
Yeah, I caught Potomac when it first started because I started watching when they first came out, like the OC and all those ones, and then I kind of fell off because I moved so much and I stopped having cable, and I was just like, I don't know, I was watching a bunch of stuff and just kind of forgot about it. And so I caught Potomac when it first started, so it was a newer show, and I was like, I can watch this. I can keep up with the people. I know who they are. So yeah, I watched that one for sure. It's a good one.
And you like Beverly Hills too, right?
I do. Ooh, that reunion gonna be good. Ooh.
My mom is already calling me. She called me today. She's like, oh, a couple more days till our show. Because that's Nana's ready.
Ooh, that's gonna be real spicy on Wednesday. Oh my gosh. That's I had to catch up with that season because I had been missing some after Vanderpump left. I was all confused and I was like, I don't want to watch this. And then I started watching again when Garcelle came in, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch because it'll be a whole different dynamic. And Garcelle is the shit, dude. She is
the shit.
Yes.
Oh my God. She holds these ladies accountable and she calls them out.
Yes.
And in my opinion, she's too nice to them. They don't deserve how nice she is.
Well, you got to toe the line, right? You can't, anytime you make a mistake, then you're angry, right? You saw that one time where Lisa was like, you have an attitude. Immediately.
Yes, she tries to. Yeah, and she did it this season. She just did it recently.
Yes.
When Garcelle was just calmly like, "Hey," and she was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, immediately Garcelle has an attitude. It's like, all right, we see what you're doing, and she doesn't play that shit. I love her. She does a great time. Yeah, I love it.
Me too. Okay, so this season's gonna be so good of Potomac because we already have. Do you know any of the drama going on behind the scenes with Mia and this friend she brought on named Jacqueline?
No.
Okay, so apparently Mia brought on a friend of the show who's her best friend. Her name's Jacqueline or something. I think we got a little, we might have seen her at the party.
Yeah, I saw that on this episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was peeping some of the other channels like House of Aaron, Tisa Tells. I don't know if you know some of these housewives bloggers and Kempire and I think DJ Richie Sky. They were all talking about, so I clicked on all their videos. And apparently this Jacqueline lady who was Mia's best friend, is now exposing her. And then Mia, for being like a fake and a fraud and what her real life is like, and might be a pathological liar, allegedly, I don't know. And then Mia exposed Jacqueline at one time getting violent, but throwing a shoe at someone she dated, or maybe her child's father, when he was caught cheating. And then she tweeted at Bravo, like, domestic DV is never the answer. Mia's pulling that. While this season, we're going to see Mia throwing a drink at Wendy Osefo.
That's true.
Getting, mm-hmm.
Well, so, yeah, what do you, that whole, if she's being called out by this person as being like a liar, like everybody's already suspicious about this like cancer thing. It's like,
right?
It's already starting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So this friend, Jacqueline, she said, I'm going to, as the season goes on, I'm going to tell it all and expose it all. So there's already so much drama. And someone tweeted today, they're like, Mia might be a perfect housewife. She's like a pathological liar. And she's like bringing her drama. And I mean, for a little bit, that could be entertaining.
Yeah. But of course.
It might get
like I was on the sidelines and I know what's really going on. People like that, I feel like, want to be on the show too. So it's like their way in.
You are 100% right, because that is going to get her into the show.
Yeah.
If she brings this kind of drama. So
that's like Marlo on Atlanta. Marlo was always like the side friend, and now she's the main one. So
I know. And she said forever she didn't want to be a cast member. And I think at first she did. And then she was like, well, I'm doing okay as a friend of the show. But then ultimately she took the peach, because
she took the peach. Yeah.
You're always
it's cutthroat out there.
It is. It's really cutthroat. All right. So I did take some notes. So we'll kind of react. I have a couple screenshots too. So let me start sharing my screen, you guys, so you can see. Definitely let us know all your thoughts, opinions, hopes, and dreams in the chat as we recap this episode. I thought I had a picture of all of them underneath the beautiful cherry blossom trees, because we start the episode and the season 7 spring awakening with a picnic under the cherry blossom. It's just like, oh, it's so nice. And Karen Huger, I mean, who's your favorite Potomac housewife?
My favorite Potomac. Oh,
I know it kind of changes for me sometimes.
But. Yeah, I like Karen. And sometimes I like Ashley.
I know, I've been liking Ashley too. I'm like,
yeah, she seems to just kind of take it. She just takes whatever, and it's very much like she's not fazed by it all. It's very interesting to see her interact with people, because she's got a very interesting life. Like even Giselle's like, you're lying to me. She's like, okay, like she's not bothered at all by anything.
I feel so bad for her Uncle Lump. He's always just like, oh God, here we go again. Michael Darby is a scammer, get a lawyer. And she's like, we're gonna get a house on the LLC. I don't even know how that works.
She doesn't know how it works. That's why she's just letting him do it. She doesn't know. She doesn't pay him the bills. Yeah, her poor uncle. That's me. I am the uncle. When she's saying stuff, I'm just like, why are you buying a house? Why are you letting Michael handle the legal stuff? Why? What are you doing?
Right. And then she's like, well, we need to be separated for.
Yeah, sometimes I like her, but sometimes I'm like, girl.
She definitely has her revenge body. Like, she's ready if she's going to be divorced.
Yes. She's pretty fit.
Yeah.
She's looking good.
Looks amazing. Okay, so we come into the episode and they are in the park and they're doing a little picnic. And it's first, kind of the queens of Potomac, which is Karen Huger and Giselle Bryant. They sit down for a picnic, which a lot of seasons we wouldn't expect to see these two holding court together without fighting.
Yeah, I feel like Karen, she's gotten a little bit better with like handling shady stuff. And I feel like Giselle just knows she really can't hang with them like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She's kind of figured out like you've got too much baggage for them to talk about. So you just need to just chill. Yeah. I feel like she knows her place now. So it's easier to be peaceful at this point, because she's not shady enough to like be like a mean character all the time, because people always come back and like smack her down with stuff about Jamal. And it's just like, it's never, even her own kids. You know what I mean? It's just, she can't hold court by herself. She just needs to just chill.
Right, when her daughters were like, your dad didn't set the precedent for like a healthy relationship, so I don't know what the hell you're doing. Her daughters are the best because they just read her down and they know exactly, like, Mom, seriously, this is ridiculous, from her outfits to her relationships.
And yes, and that's why she's just be nice to Karen, because you can't, everybody sees what's going on. You're not that chick. You're not in charge. Just
No.
yeah. So it's nice to watch them hang out and be nice, because at any moment Karen can just say something. You'll be just like, oh my God.
Karen will destroy you. Yeah. What did she say? Was it last season when she said something about, oh, they were at that dinner and she said something about her hot box or her or what was it? Oh, guys, if you guys remember in the chat, put it in there. But they were all eating and she just mentioned something about, maybe it had to do with Giselle's college or something. I'm just like, dang, Karen will just pull out stuff that I'm like,
is Karen, how old is Karen? Karen's like in her is she 60?
She said in this episode she's 59. So I think she had just turned 59.
Karen says sometimes she just says stuff. You're like, this is old school stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is some stuff somebody's grandma from the South passed down. Like, people don't even talk like that.
It is exactly. It is vicious. I love it. Okay. So let's see. They're Karen and Giselle are setting up the picnic. Giselle. Ashley, they talk about Ashley. The big topic is Ashley getting this divorce / separation, whatever's Ashley is calling it. Robin and Ashley join, but they start talking about Mia's cryptic medical post. Shauna, what did you take about from these medical posts?
As a person who posts sometimes too much of my business on social media, I try to make sure it's like real before I post it. You know what I mean? Like, I might be cryptic with like a boyfriend or something like that. I might be like, ooh, am I seeing someone? But that's about as deep as I get. I'm not like saying, ooh, I went to the doctor. We don't know. Like, I'll say I went to the doctor. They said it's a tumor. It's there. I saw it. It's confirmed. So it just feels strange to kind of do that and then change it. And it does feel like it's attention seeking. And if there's something wrong with her, then, I mean, that sucks. But I feel like that kind of play in it seems like it's a way to kind of get people to pay attention to you. So
yeah, it seemed strange because she's like, exactly what you're saying. It seemed attention seeking because you haven't got the diagnosis yet. Someone said this might be this. That's not the time you head right to social media when you are in the public eye and say, I'm dying. Like,
right. It's literally, hi guys. I know Ashley's getting divorced maybe, but I'm dying. Just kidding. Wait, hold on. I'll check back in 2 weeks.
It turned into so many things, which is like, it's scary shit. I mean, if you got lumps, you got to get biopsies, like that shit's scary. But let's wait a little bit, maybe until we post. But Mia totally strikes me as the type who she's just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah, it feels calculated. And that's the other thing. I'm starting to realize that there are people that try to produce the show. Like, there's always one person that's trying to get the story angles a certain way. And so they plant certain things to get people talking about them or whatever. And I just feel like some of that feels like, let me find a way to get my name out in front of the show for something. You know what I mean? And obviously cancer is very bad and people will feel bad for you, right? It's a sympathy thing. It's not like you being mean or you being a stripper. It's like, oh my gosh, she might be dying. And then turns out she's probably not dying at all.
It turns out everything is benign or whatever. But you're exactly right, because Giselle has been accused for season after season for producing the show. And sometimes we do need a housewife to do that a little bit. But yeah, when this just seemed really weird, and the ladies are not having it. They're gonna call it out.
It makes me mad too, because it's like, even if you don't like a person, you don't want them to have cancer. So it almost makes the castmates who don't really like her to still have to be nice to her because she might be sick. Mm-hmm. And so it's this weird dynamic, because now it's like, we can't talk shit about her because she has cancer. But
yeah, she's got lumps. We can't talk shit.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, she's precious now. I can't talk shit about her. And that's not fair if she doesn't have cancer. Like,
no.
It's manipulation.
It is manipulation. And interesting that she would do this right after coming off her first season when Andy said, you are a mess on social media.
Yeah.
And so now you're looking for sympathy?
A few of them, right? He told Mia that. He told that to Candace. He said quite a few of them are a mess.
Well, and it was interesting because Andy was called out because he had only said that to the Black Housewives. And you see the White Housewives are way messier. So now he's starting to branch out into telling, because you have Erica Jane, you have Lisa Rinna, you have so many of these ladies that are literally cuckoo.
Yes.
And he said this to Candace, where Candace is messy, but it's not to the point of some of these women.
Right. Yeah. I think it's good to have a diverse cast like that, because Andy, what the hell does he know? You know what I mean? Some of these are like unconscious biases people have, but like people are like, dude, you are literally yelling at the black people all the time. Why is that?
Yes, exactly.
Why are you yelling at only the black people, Andy?
And yeah, exactly. And the way he treats, like, and for a long time treated like the Erica Janes or Teresa Giudice, like legit. Well, we don't know yet with Erica Jane, but legit criminals who went to jail. And then the way that he talks to them with like kitten gloves, and then you're just like, why is he talking to the other housewives like this? Like, okay. Yeah. But like you said, these are probably biases he has that he doesn't even realize, maybe.
Yeah. So me is a mess, and so was Candace online. I don't know. I've been in online tips with people. Oh boy, it sometimes you can't see when you're in there. Your thumbs are going crazy. You're just like, ah. But I'm not famous yet, so I can do that and be under the radar.
You're the best person to have on your side in online tiff, because I had someone coming for me, and Shauna was in it on Twitter for me, and I was DMing her like, oh my God, I protect yourself, but thank you, but protect yourself, but thank you so much, because
people are stupid. People are all internet tough, but it's like, dude, shut up. Everybody relax. Okay. Leave Joleen alone. All right. She's a good person. Don't mess with my friends. I will
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I love jumping in it. If somebody tags me in a thing on Facebook, I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh my God. And being in the comedy stuff, like I'm not really that active on Facebook anymore, but when I was, holy shit, that's some Real Housewives level drama.
Yeah, every scene has it too. It's like, oh gosh. And I'll jump in it. I don't care. And now I don't anymore. But if it's somebody that I know, then I'm like, let me go see what y'all talking about, so I can come in here and be like, you guys are stupid. Hold on.
It's the best.
Shutting it down. But once I get famous, I can't do that anymore. I'm gonna have to stop doing it.
I know. So soon too. I mean, so maybe get it out of your system, because it's happening, Shauna. It is happening. So these ladies are basically like, Mia is doing the most with these posts. Like, it's just, you don't even know what you have yet. It's too cryptic. It's attention seeking, like we said. Giselle actually said, make it make truth, instead of how we always hear make it make sense.
Like that. I thought that was good. I feel like she's got a writer. Someone's helping her.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She got a Phaedra writer. Remember, people were accusing Phaedra of having people writing all of her reads at the reunion, but they're really good. But I'm thinking, Phaedra, but she's an attorney. And then I saw her on Ultimate Girls Trip, and I don't know if Phaedra has a writer.
Yeah, I actually liked her a lot better in the Ultimate Girls Trip.
Me too.
She seemed like a little bit better than what she was doing in Atlanta.
Atlanta, she was trying to do a lot and stuff she didn't need to do. But on Ultimate Girls Trip, we really saw like the fun, smart Phaedra, who, I mean, she's surrounded by these cuckoo ladies, and she can just react to it.
Yeah, I think doing Atlanta for so many years too, though, is like you're used to people acting crazy. So when you see like a bunch of white girls being crazy, you're just like, okay, like, all right. So you're so much more prepared when you get like the worst of it from like black people. You're like, I've been through it. Okay, let me go to what's Dorinda's place? What's it called?
The Berkshires. Yeah.
Let's go there, just have a nice time, and I'll just calm down. Yeah, Bluestone, right. Yeah, let's calm these little white girls down. It's fine. So yeah,
these like 60-year-old white ladies freaking out, like their silicone is angry, everything's angry.
Oh, I actually like that show. I thought that was good.
Me too. I wish they would do all of the Ultimate Girls Trip at the Bluestone Manor.
Really?
So, because it's like iconic now, and it's just messy. And the fact that Dorinda is like, you can't eat in your room, you can't wear your shoes, but she's like too drunk to even remember half the time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She's breaking all of her house rules all the time. That's what you do though, right? All the rooms feel like they're like antique, where you're not supposed to be in any of them. Like, It's like a whole house you shouldn't sleep in, but you just like a museum. It's like, Don't touch anything. Don't sleep on anything. But welcome.
It's a museum of drunken spirits, of
Yes.
the past, like all the Luanns of the past. So let's see. They talked about the Mia thing, and then Ashley, it talks about why she's leaving Michael Darby and why it might be a divorce separation, but you have to go through a separation for I think a year. And then I think we have just a little bit of feedback. I don't know if that's on your end or my end. If you wanna, if your might be your volume or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Just to like maybe pop it down just to like a little bit. Sometimes it happens with me. I'm a loud talker. I'll try to talk not so loud.
I'm a loud talker too.
But I like yell.
I'm so excited.
And my mic, Shauna, is right here. So I don't
Mine is
need to
on
yell,
my shirt. So maybe if
but
I
I do.
take it and I put it over there.
No, I think you're fine. I think it's my voice is carrying over and then I can hear it through the speaker. But no biggie. If no one else has an issue with it, I think we're good. We're good.
Okay.
So yes, like Dee Marie saying, did she really tell us why? But what she said was basically, I'm not drinking as much because remember, she liked her Pilsners and her Coronas. Michael Darby liked his tequila and his Coronas. And then she said, oh, and then maybe sexually we're not compatible. Were you? I mean, yuck. Also, he's like Gollum. No offense to Gollum, but he's like freaking Gollum. And he cheats on you. And it's all over the place. But apparently, she said in this episode, there was a lady, because Ashley's talked about how they kind of, without saying it, they have an open marriage. And she's bisexual. And so there was a woman and he wanted to bring her in and she wasn't feeling it. And it's like, how about he just has been embarrassing you and cheating on you for this whole time? You guys had a prenup. You made it to the amount of time you had to make it plus some to now get half of his money. So now it's time to dip out, right?
Yeah, I feel like that dynamic is tricky, right? You can have like an open relationship or kind of be whatever when you're not with kids and stuff like that. But when you start having kids, it kind of messes up the dynamic of all that anyways. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about like open relationships and bringing people home and then also like breastfeeding. I just feel like it's too many things to juggle. And then
with two small kids?
Yeah, she's not drinking anymore, which is usually the only reason why I have sex at all. It's like it's probably like not into it. It's like
it does change.
Sober too. Oh, okay.
Once you get sober, I can attest to that being a sober person now. But all I see, I have this little clip that I always play. This is what I see, and I think, how could anyone have sex with this guy? No offense.
Why everybody thinks that he loves what's Robin's
Juan.
That there was a whole like season of just like what's going on. Why does he love Juan so much?
Remember how kind of mad he was that Robin, when Juan, he's like, you sure you want to propose to her again, Juan? And Juan's like, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, he might be making a mistake. It's like, I think he was waiting for
Juan.
He's
not going to marry her. He walked around that whole party. He's not going to go through with it. And he's kind of right. It's been 2 years since the proposal, right?
Oh, he's not wrong. And then we're going to have to, the shitty thing about Robin's storyline is the lack thereof. But we're going to have to go with this. She hasn't set the date with Juan yet. And it's like,
is it up to her to set the date? I thought they were doing that together.
I mean, you would think, but they
Did
have.
Everybody ask Juan if he wants to get married. How come no one's asking Juan what he wants to do?
I think Juan just wants her to have a daughter, and then she doesn't want to do that because remember last season their big tiff was the fact that he really wasn't there to change the diapers and take care of the sons.
Right.
So now she's like, well, now you're gonna have to see what this is like, and he got really offended.
He wants her to have a daughter. That's not enough of a reason. Just go adopt one. You ain't gonna guarantee a daughter if she gets pregnant again. That's just y'all are tripping.
Maybe he thinks he can guarantee with a sperm. This one's a daughter. Or maybe they've frozen stuff. I don't know.
But like, just do it then. Why do you have to? I can't. I don't think they're getting married. I feel like, I'm kind of on Robin's side a little bit about it, but I don't know. Michael was right. It's just he knows Juan more than anybody else because
I
they hang
think
out.
he does. Yeah, he was like, "We're gonna go to Vegas. Let's see." Or when he at the proposal party, he's like, "We'll do the bachelor party, just us, no cameras." I'm like, "Oh,
Yes, see, because he knows they're in there doing all kinds of freaky deaky stuff. And
Mhm.
Ashley's at home with
Ugh,
the 3-month-old. She's always pregnant now. I feel like she should just stop getting pregnant too.
yeah." She's got her 2 kids. I mean, I think it was like on the dot of her whatever her prenup was for their deal. It was like soon after that date where she was guaranteed
Uh
a
huh.
much greater sum of money that she was like filing, which I'm like, go ahead, Ashley, do it, because this is a business relationship, her and Michael Darby.
Well, yeah, she told Nicki Minaj that he was like, he's very funny and he's very witty and he's very funny and he's very funny. And I like that he's funny. And I'm also attracted to him. It took her so long to get to that part because Nicki was like, but did you really? Are you really? Do you like that person on top of you at all? Does that, okay. You know what I mean? No one believed it. She's
He's
like,
like,
well,
my
he's very
precious.
funny and he makes me laugh because he's humorous and I am physically attracted to him as well. Like it took her so
Yeah,
long.
she had to like physically, like we play a little sex game where he makes me hide a ring, my Yuva ring around the house. He's like, my precious, and he follows me around, and then we do it. It's not it. So I'm very excited for Ashley to get a divorce. Like I've never been so excited for someone in my life. I've wanted her to divorce this guy before I even knew he existed. Like I want him gone.
Is there is there any curiosity to see what kind of girls they bring home as a couple?
Yeah, of course. I want to see.
I would just like to see like are they like really hot girls or like I just want to see like who are they picking up? Like who's down to bang both of them? I would be interested to see that person just once, you
Me
know.
too. I think, well, the thing with Michael Darby obviously is the thing that all unattractive and socially, physically, personality, all the things men have to get women is money. So I
Yes.
think we'd be surprised. Well, we probably wouldn't because we've lived in LA long enough, but we would to see the caliber of woman that would actually have intercourse with Michael Darby. I mean, Ashley is a stunner. She's beautiful. Who wouldn't
Yes.
want to hook up with Ashley? But Michael, if he didn't have, I don't even know how he has this money. I don't
Yeah,
even.
I don't know what does he do?
He looks like one of those guys. What do they call those? Where they go into to businesses that are failing and then they just wreck it, Ralph, and then they take a bunch of money. There's like a name for that job. Um, I forget what they're called, but you guys will know in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I don't mind dating a person for their money as long as they know that's why you're dating them. I'm all for it. Like people get married for green cards. People do that stuff all the time. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Stop pretending that you guys are in love for TV. Just
Yeah, I would respect it more if you were just were like, this is a business arrangement. We kind of like each other sometimes, and when we're horny, it's not that bad. But when I'm not, I wanna be done with this.
what did
You
she
know.
say? She was craving some Michael Darby penis or something. What was she
Oh
say?
wait, let me check the notes, Shauna, because when she said it, I was like, that has never been uttered and should never be uttered
She Darby dick. Can I
again.
say
Yeah, Darby Dick. You can say Darby Dick all you want. I think it
ew?
was something craving coochie, or no, Ashley gets a coochie craving for
Ah.
Michael. No. Coochie craving
Oh, coochie craving
for
for
Mike.
Mike though. Oh, listen.
No.
You know what though? Maybe Mike's talented in other areas. Maybe you don't even have to
Yeah.
see his face for what he's doing, and so perhaps
Yeah.
that's where his talents lie. You're just not looking at his
He
face
goes
because
straight to the basement and
it's
he
just someplace
stays.
else. His face
Yep.
is out of eye line. You're up here just enjoying your time. He's doing something else, and
He's
that's
picturing someone else, but then
yeah.
you got Darby Dick down there
Ooh,
doing.
ooh.
Okay, so she's got all these excuses. They're not buying it. This is when she starts saying, I'm gonna buy a home, and we're gonna buy it in LLC. And they're like, you're not getting divorced or separated then, because do that. And then Karen comes in with some, big sisterly advice. And she says, if Michael Darby, which I'm sure he will, starts to pull the bones out of your closet, make sure you throw the whole damn skeleton out of his. And I'm
I
like,
love
yeah.
all those little, like, I don't even know what they're called, but like bones and skeletons. It's like, ooh, the secrets. Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so like poetic to me. But yeah, I feel like what could you possibly say about Ashley that we don't know already? You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
her story is so known that like if there's some like hidden secret somewhere that we'd be surprised by, I don't know if she even has that. She seems so forthcoming.
Yeah, I don't think so, because the only thing I think they were hiding for a long time was the fact that their marriage is probably open and there's like allowed cheating, like just don't embarrass me, and they have threesomes. But I would already assume, yeah, the threesomes, the open marriage. What else would there be to hide?
Yeah, so I don't think Michael would. He better not try it.
I wouldn't put it
Did
past
he
him. I
have
mean,
it?
he is one of those like, business dudes, so he's going to try to run her like a business, which I think is what he's trying to do now with this whole house and LLC, which gains him control. Because once she said in this episode, "Oh, I've made it to the point in the prenup where the prenup's null and void, and I would just get half of his money and everything," I'm just like, "Oh, take that. That's a good deal. What are
That
you
sounds
doing?"
great. Yeah.
That sounds like
So
that
why are you
makes
buying the
up.
house then?
That's the thing. I don't know if I think Ashley's smart, but like, to just, I don't know. That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to me yet, because if you are going to get that lump sum of money, which I do, I don't know what Robin was talking about when she was talking to Charisse and saying, I don't think the spouse who didn't bring as much in, they shouldn't be compensated in the marriage, with alimony. I'm thinking none of these women would be here without that. So Charisse is like, hello. But you do, I mean, if you, let's say, if Juan would have been a bigger basketball player, had more money, she wouldn't have to do embellished hats. I think she'd be singing a different tune, because you stay home, you take care of the kids, you make sure, the family's okay. But if he's off running around doing whatever, and it ruins our marriage, I'm going to think that I put into this, and you being able to work and you being able to be successful. So yeah, you're going to have to pay me alimony.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting dynamic too, because it's very rare. Like the woman's the breadwinner, and she's like, you can't get half." Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that might make him feel a certain way too. But I, I don't want to get married, so I don't know. All that stuff, all that paperwork stuff, I don't want to do it. So, and
Especially
I
watching these shows.
yeah, especially yeah, all the yeah, getting a house under the LLC for what? Are you going to rent it, or is that someplace you're going to move to? I don't understand what the purpose is.
It feels
And
like
if you
they
guys get
don't.
divorced, does the house, is it both of your house after?
Exactly. And it feels like they don't necessarily want to part ways business wise. And that basically Michael wants to, like they were saying in this episode, stay downtown in his condo that's not, a family friendly, where Ashley wants to go to this next level of like home ownership, moving to Arlington and not live downtown in that. So maybe they want to keep it, they're going to do this separation. You hook up with who you want to, you do what you want to, but he's probably enticed her with, don't worry, you'll be taken care of. You'll get the house you want. Cause I'm sure he doesn't want to go fully through with this if she gets half of everything he has.
Do you think somehow that Mike also doesn't mind being on the show, and he kind of benefits from being a husband on the show too, because he gets attention and maybe that helps his business somehow?
I think it doesn't help his business. I think it helps his dick business. Like, I think
Oh,
he likes the attention and being out there to get ladies, gentlemen, whoever he's into at the moment.
yeah.
But I don't know how yeah, I see what you're saying, because in most businesses it would help you. But again, I don't really know what he does. He's one of those,
Yeah, I
again,
guess so, because he is messy too. So maybe it would hurt his
yes,
business. So I don't
it
know.
would
But
probably
I feel
hurt.
like if
Yeah.
he's staying married to her, that means he gets to still be a part of the TV show. You know what I mean?
Well, then he'd be, you know what it is? Shauna, he'd be away from Juan. Farther away from Juan. He wants to have times where they have to film. Juan has to be with him.
That's
Oh, that makes
funny. Yes,
so
we
much
have to film where
sense.
Juan's there so I can see my friend. Maybe that's it.
Yes. And they have
Oh,
certain, yep,
he
filming
wants to take Juan
schedules.
away from Robin. There's going to be like 2 seasons from now. There's going to be.
I would be here for that storyline.
Didn't he like say he wanted to suck Juan's dick or something like that the first season?
That's allegedly what the lady said they heard. And he's like, that's ridiculous. But he didn't seem like it was that ridiculous. And yeah.
Did he deny saying it?
Or I think he was like, oh, I think he didn't show up for that part. But I think whenever it's brought, it's kind of, hogwash. Like I would never. And it's like,
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay. Like you would actually have open marriage. Like who cares obviously, maybe Robin would care, but
were they friends before the show or did they meet? What reality would Mike, Darby, and Juan be in the same place at the same time hanging out? Unless it's like a strip club or something like that.
That's it. Or being cast on this show. Because I know, like obviously Charisse, and Karen, and then they knew Giselle and then Robin, but Ashley was an outsider. And I don't remember who knew Ashley to bring her in, but she was a lot younger than the ladies. So that's why when she first came in, they were all like, no. She like wanted to dance and have a good time. And they're like, no. Remember early Potomac? It was like Charisse and Karen had all these rules. You have to sit here, you have to do this. And I was like, that's why when they brought Charisse back, I'm like, I don't want rule Karen back. I like how Karen is now.
Yes, I like her so much now too. Yeah. That is so funny now because now Ashley's like, I don't drink, so it's not. And now Karen's like, let's party.
And I might be cheating on my husband, which that is part of the storyline this season, that maybe she's allegedly been seen with other men. And I'm like, Karen,
what is going on?
I know. It's getting crazy in Potomac. Andrea says, I think Robin was saying if the man comes into the marriage with a lot of money, that's different than earning it while married. Oh, okay. But I do kind of think, I see what you're saying, Andrea, but I kind of think when the man comes into marriage with a lot of money, he tends to pick a woman he wouldn't necessarily get without that money. So all these relationships thus become transactional in a way, because they tend not to marry what you would consider their equals, like someone along the same age, someone, maybe as driven as them. They tend to be like, this is my wife, just like Gordon and Mia. She's 35 years younger than me. I was, I had a lot of money in my 401k on her when she was born, so it's just weird, but that's the Housewives.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been 25 before and,
yeah.
Men with money, they like sometimes they're gross looking and you're just like, okay, buy the drink. You know what I mean?
Do the thing. That's like when you're young like that, I don't blame a woman for looking at that, or even if a man's looking at an older woman who has money. But the older person with the money, they definitely know what they're doing and they know what they're getting into. So then when you either lose your money or when the younger person loses their looks, then the balance, it stops being what it was originally. And we've seen that before in these Housewives, when the young gals get older or the old guys lose their money.
Wasn't that what Ray said to Giselle? He's like, you're not going to be pretty for long. You better.
Yes.
You better figure it out, girlfriend.
He did say that. Oh, yes. I remember that. All right. So already so much stuff is happening. Then we're going into, or Karen's like, I'm going to have a party. And then she's saying spring into spring.
Now, I love that part.
I know. It's so classic, iconic Karen, which I'm glad later we got one of her weird invitations that she sent with actual tacos. Were those edible tacos?
I thought those were dead butterflies. What? They were
the season before she sent butterflies and some of them arrived dead.
Okay. I think I might have looked away from the screen for a moment. I looked back and I was like, she sent them dead animals?
Yes. Well, dead insects. She did. She was hoping they would live and they opened up. So this time when they're opening the invite, they're like, scared,
everybody's scared.
But it was tacos and tequila. And I'm like, was that just like fake? Or I think someone took a bite of one. Was it Candace? I don't remember, but
Oh, did somebody just delivered it to the door at that time, right? It wasn't like it was left outside for like hours and somebody had to
hopefully.
go find it. It's like
Well, what kind of meat transfers like that with not like on ice or I don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. Like, did Amazon or somebody like knock on the door first so they knew it was there? Because they don't lock. They'll just leave a package and then you'll get an email like an hour later that has been sitting out there. So like,
Like a day later, you're out there like, oh, what's that? Oh,
all
it's
right,
tacos
taco.
with tequila. We see Candace and Chris go to a fertility doctor because Candace's career is popping off. She's opening for SWB and Faith Evans,
Mhm.
which obviously, as a as women that who were teenagers in the 90s, late 90s, it's like, whoa, Faith Evans and SWV, but then you're like, oh, okay. I mean, it's not that's great and they're iconic, but it's not like she's
Yes.
got this new kind of popping
Yeah.
career,
Yes. It's almost like she's on like a reunion tour, but as like a new
Yes.
person. Yeah. Cause it's like nostalgia. I would go see SWV and Faith Evans.
Oh
I
my
don't know if I
God.
would go see
In a
Candace,
second.
but that's probably why they're like here. And also she does stuff too.
And you
Or
would
maybe
think
she's
maybe,
helping them because she's on I don't know how that works. They might be all benefiting from her current fame.
I mean, maybe I would assume Faith Evans doesn't ever need that, right? But I could see like SWV maybe, but Faith seemed to be around longer than
Yeah.
SWV did, but it's hard. They're both iconic, but uh you would think with Nicki Minaj hosting, maybe she could have opened for Nicki. Nicki liked the Drive Back song, so
Yeah.
she
Why
said.
didn't Nicki invite her out on tour with her?
Well, that's
Why didn't she ask Nikki, "Hey, when are you?" That would have been me if I would have. If I'm getting interviewed by Nicki Minaj, she's asking me to sing whatever, and she likes my song. I'm like, "Let me know when you're on tour." I would have said it right in front of everybody, and then
that's like the stand-up
did that.
comedian in
But
us. We're like, oh
okay,
yeah, I can go with you. I'll drop my whole life and
yeah,
go with you.
she was
But
scared to even sing the damn song. She didn't even want to sing at the reunion. So
and she did a great job when she sang it. It sounded
I know,
great.
but she was acting all scared about it for like 5 minutes. Like, oh, I'll sing a gospel song. Oh, I'll sing like, girl, just sing the damn song.
And Nikki the whole time was kind of low key dragging her anyways because she's like, well, how much did it sell? How is it downloads? How long has it been out? Oh, it's
Yeah.
number what? And then, oh, well, that's great. And I'm like, oh, this isn't
Right.
good. But
What charts are you on? Are you on Apple? Are you on iTunes? Are you on
are you on Yahoo, Hotmail? What do you
Yeah,
like?
she
Let's
was
just
she was the shady one for sure. But can I'm happy for Candace. I'm just glad she's not crying every fucking 10 minutes, which is an improvement, you know. But
Mhm.
I don't know if them having a kid's gonna help them though, because last season with the mom talking shit about him and kind of putting a strain on it, I don't think and let's add a baby is like the next step that's gonna help. That's never the right move, by the way. Like
No,
don't
that
add another
doesn't
person to worry about. That you're already having problems with the two people. You don't need a third person
exactly.
also.
It's not going to solve any issues. But she seems to want to take the IVF, but then is she doing the thing to freeze her? I think she wants to freeze her eggs, right? Is that what she's
Yeah,
doing?
she wants to freeze them.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Chris already has kids and yeah, so we'll see. But she wants to focus on her career right now. But apparently, Chris's new job. So he was a chef. He's been so many things, and now he's the general manager of the W Hotel in DC. Or is that what they said? Is that what it
I don't
said? So because they have this whole conversation and they fight in front of the doctor, then they fight in the car about, yeah,
yes.
he's a GM of a W hotel, and Candace doesn't like Chris's work-life balance because it's not balanced, so he's out really really late, which wouldn't be good for kids and that. And then Chris and her kind of argue about this. I think Chris has been struggling for a while to figure out what it is he actually does.
Yeah, I thought he was a chef for a while and he was doing pretty good with that. And then I don't know. It seems like a bit of an identity crisis too, because his wife is becoming more successful and he's trying to figure
Mhm.
out what his role is. And as a chef, I imagine that the pandemic kind of took a toll on him because he couldn't be at restaurants or what. Who knows? So
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes men don't like it when the woman starts to get her own standing more than them, and so he's like, let me find some ways to get my attention, right? Maybe she's getting a lot of attention from her singing and stuff, and she's on tour. And he's like, well, I got to find a way to get people to look at me too. So I'm going to go work at a hotel.
Yeah. Well, and he was managing her too. So is he still managing her?
I don't, ooh, that's true. Maybe he's not anymore.
Yeah, where am I says it's a no win for him. Previously, he wasn't working enough or making enough, and now he might be doing because she did marry someone who's in the restaurant business,
Right.
whether it be chef or GM, and your hours are going to be crazier than a regular 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. And chefs are like notoriously insane. Like that's, he seems to be quite like calm to me as a chef. So maybe him being a GM of the W was probably a lot better for the relationship.
Yeah,
But I
and
don't even
it's
know, like, what are the hours? If you're a GM, like that sounds like a job you can kind of do during the day and then go home. Like, I don't
it's
know if that's like
it
a
sounded
salary
like
thing where you have to just be there all the time. I don't know.
yeah, like he needed to. What if we there's a party at night? So I think there's a lot of things he has to be there for. And I think he's the type of GM that then it's like, well, I had to have drinks with the people. And so we're going to see this season, he's not coming home till 1 a.m. And he might be, according to the season trailer, he might be trying to entice Giselle out to have a drink. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, Chris, this is bad.
That's interesting too. Giselle?
He's
Okay,
always said she
Chris.
was beautiful. That's always been his like comment, like, oh, she's, and I'm just like, she is beautiful, but it's gross. It's your wife's coworker, and you have a wife, sir.
It's all proximity, right? You're just like, let's just DM people we see all the time at work.
Who we're
I
also
don't want
on
to go around
television with.
Potomac. I don't want to find a person that doesn't involve the show. It's just somehow I just want to find a way to just be. That's just so messy to me too. Like of all
So
the people,
messy.
like get out of people's DMs, dude. Like
What are you? What is that? Adam Levine? Oh my God, gross.
the what?
That was the Adam Levine guy from
Oh yes,
Maroon
yes.
5, who was
Oh,
like,
he texts like my ex boyfriend does. So that's pretty funny. I'm like, this
"Oh
seems.
no."
I may have to see that booty. You're like, all right.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
Adam.
See the booty, see the booty. And it's like, dude, that dude had a whole wife, kids, everything. You're Adam Levine. You're on The Voice. I mean, I'm
His
not a
wife's a
big
freaking model.
right. I'm not a big Maroon 5 head, but I do have a 5 head, but I'm not a Maroon 5 head. And I you're you're gonna get found out. It's almost like they want to.
It's so messy. I think people just get so high on the adrenaline of doing something they were not supposed to do. They don't really think about the consequences of it.
Yeah.
And maybe Chris is just like, just trying to get somebody to check for him. You know what I mean? You just want to see if you still got it kind of vibes. It's
I could see that with him. I
yeah,
could
because I feel like maybe he's
definitely
just feeling like he's in the background too much, and Candace is moving ahead of
yeah.
him, and he's like, hey, come on, I used to be hot shit too. Let me see if anybody here wants to see my pink dick.
Anybody pink dick? Anybody going once? Going twice? Going to the W? Sold. All right. So they have that whole thing. We get Charisse again. Charisse meets up with Rob, and she's back. Why are we bringing her back? Did we ever get a reason for this? Do you want her to come back, Shauna?
I don't. I honestly don't even remember her. When I saw her face, I was like, "What?" It's like COVID kind of wiped your brain a little bit. Where I feel
Yes.
like 2018 was last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just
It
feels
does
like,
feel like
why?
it.
Who is this? And apparently Karen does not
Oh my
like
God,
her.
Karen doesn't like her. It's almost like a fight between who is they always had with, Vicky Gunvalson, the OG of the OC, like who's the OG of Potomac. Now, Robin would say it's Charisse because she brought them together, but it's Karen Huger. I mean, she's
Yes.
been on the show. She's the grand dame. No, Charisse isn't the grand dame. Charisse was, like I said, too many rules. I remember the early seasons of Charisse, and it was just like, oh my God, the type that judged everyone, but her house was literally on fire, and she's like,
Yes.
So I don't think we need her.
I feel like they just brought her back for drama.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I just feel like they're just like, what else can we do this season to make the people react in a certain way? And we'll bring back somebody that everybody kind of hates or
Oh
perfect. You
yeah.
know what I mean? That's production stuff, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey Sharice, do you want to come back to the show? we put you on pause, but it'd be cool.
For like 5 years, you've been on pause. She's been showing up in the background of parties for a couple seasons. I've seen her, but I didn't think we needed her as a friend of the or I think, is she a full-on housewife or just a friend?
I think she's just a friend.
Yeah.
And she got her boobs done. Is that what she was saying when she showed up? That her
I honestly was tuned out of this scene because Robin and Cherise bring a book. I mean, I'm not interested in either of these women at all. Like it's not. No, you need somebody else. You need someone with like charisma and stuff. Andrea is saying, "Oh yes," because remember, Candace says Chris is the white guy with a brown dick.
Oh right, yes.
Yeah, that was her big claim to fame. Like, no, he doesn't have a pink one. Nope.
It's pink at the shaft. Okay.
Yeah. Nunya says, I don't want her back unless she has something to be brought. Right. If we'll see what she brings this season, I'll give her a chance. But I was like, oh, I definitely wasn't missing her. If anything, I was missing Katie. Remember Katie? Katie was hilarious. And she was, I mean, she was she needed a little bit of
this little spacey one.
Yes, who lived on a farm, and her wig was kind of askew, and it was so perfect. And Katie was she was lovely.
What about Monique? Is that her name?
Yeah, Monique. I'm pretty sure she did she go to Huntsville or a different reality show?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was on a different one. You guys put in the chat. I'm sorry, I don't remember which one it was, but she was doing her own thing somewhere else. And I think she's kind of burned her ties with Bravo, and after the whole Candace thing and their, physical incident, that was just so much.
But she was so good with her big ass binder full of things.
Oh my God, the binder.
If they brought her back, that would be insane.
Right?
That would be way more insane than Cherise. I would lean in for that. I'd be just like, whoa.
Yeah. She's brought way more
music when she comes in. She's like, dun, dun, dun. Every time she walks in, I would think that's,
Renee, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you. And Diana Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. This is the most I've paid attention all day. Oh, we're so glad you're paying attention to us, Diana Lee. Love you both. Okay, Oil Charles says, oh, Love and Marriage DC. So she went to a different show. I think probably because of the physical altercation that now I remember I went so hard for Monique when that happened. And now I can't even remember really what happened after, to the point why she wasn't asked back. It was just for that reason. Then the other women were like, we don't want to work with her anymore. Because remember, she then chased Candace, like looking for her.
Candace the next season was trying to drag people too. So like, we learned nothing from that. You kicked off Monique, and then Candace was like, well, now I'm going to stand my ground and try to fight everybody next. We're like, okay.
Right. And every Housewives franchise, the women get physical. New Jersey is notorious. They're flipping tables. They're grabbing wigs. Yeah. They are just ready to fight. So New York has had incidents. So it's just like, well, maybe not. Well, I feel like every franchise has had that, and not necessarily people. I mean, Teresa Giudice would probably be the one that the most violent of the Housewives, and they're never gonna let her go.
I mean, Lisa Rinna like threw that glass at him.
She tried to shank her. She was ready to like stab her.
She broke the glass on the table. So it's like, this is crazy. So it's Beverly not like Hills. That's the first altercation. I don't know. And I feel like now the Housewives of Potomac probably feel bad for what they did with Monique now, because they're seeing how Candace acts. And they're like, Candace, you be talking shit. Like, you need to be quiet because people want to beat you up. And now we want to beat you up. Like,
that's what Andy was like. Well, do you think it's like, he can't really say this, but he said it. He was like, well, do you think it's anything you've done? She's like, are you blaming me for getting physically assaulted? He's like, well, you do say a lot of stuff. And it was like,
yeah, you can't, some people, you cannot just be talking and doing this to people. That's not, you get beat up. And she should know better. I just feel like she's a little princess, and she's never been confronted before. And when she got popped, it was like, oh no, this dainty little flower. But now she's hood with it. Now she's ready to fight everybody.
Yeah. With Saladgate last season, like you said, I mean, I was like, who is this Candace? I thought we were very much not, into that. But
yeah, I mean, now she's violent herself.
Yeah, everyone can be
She
pushed.
took the crown away from Monique. I would rather Monique come back than Therese. Like we don't even care
Right.
about this person.
No, we don't. We don't. But we'll see. We'll give her, I guess I'm speaking for both of us and I shouldn't, but I'll give her a little chance to see if she brings something, but I don't have high hopes. I do not have high hopes.
I don't remember did she bring anything when she was on the show? She was just like boring mostly, right? Like
Yeah, I think since she's tried to come back, she tried to be messy and bring things about some of the women, but not even anything that I remember, like not
right.
memorable. So to me, no thanks, Charisse, but we'll see. Let's see. So Robin wants to talk. She wants prenup from Juan. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a prenup. Men, women, everybody get a prenup. So you don't got to worry about, if things end, which 50% of the marriages end, then you know where the money's going. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would ask for one, and I don't even have any money. But
Right?
getting married to me is just it's such a scary idea to me. It's just like, oh, but why? I want a common law marriage. I'm okay with that. I want a roommate.
See, I wanted a roommate who had to sign a piece of paper, Shauna, that says they can't go anywhere unless they're willing to do all this freaking paperwork to leave. That's it.
Why couldn't they sign the lease? That's the same thing. It's almost as legally binding, but it's just for a year.
People will walk out on that lease more than and have an easier time. But once the marriage stuff, it's like, But I see what you're saying. I think a lot of people have that thought. Is marriage? Is it something that's necessary these days? And you have traditionalist people, then you have people who are maybe more in the middle. I don't think I'm a traditionalist at all, but I did get married. And then you have, like from your perspective that you're sharing, it's like, well, what's the point? If you love someone, you be with them, you don't have to sign a government document to make it any more official.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to have the tendency to want to leave, and so that's why I'm like,
okay.
I don't want to be stuck.
Well, definitely.
I'm like, so that means I can't just like leave.
Exactly. It's a lot of paperwork
for me to get married because it's like, oh, I have to like work this out. Okay.
That's awesome that you have that self-awareness, which I already knew about you, but it's like, it's great that you recognize that, like, well, I don't want to be stuck in anything. And that's not what I want.
I'd hate to say that it's stuck too, right? It's not, you shouldn't feel like you're stuck. And I think traditionally, right, people got married because they had to get credit card or to have money.
Yep.
Like you had to marry a person to help you with your life. And now it's like, you don't need to do that anymore. And I'm like, what if it's like a new phone, you get a new phone every couple of years, you upgrade the plan, if there's a way you could, sign a new contract every 2 years and be like, oh, I got a new phone this year and I like the camera on this and you look horrible when I take pictures of you now.
You don't stay with the same phone forever. That's a great analogy because and I think that's why a lot of people have agreements in their marriage. I don't have an agreement in my marriage, but I can see why people do. If that works for both of you as people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I like that analogy. I'd be like, if you don't already, you should make that into a joke because that's really good.
I try to. Would you be surprised how many women hate when I'm like, well, what's wrong with a cheat day every once in a while, guys? Every diet has a cheat day and it's great.
Well, I think women themselves are like, oh yeah, I'd love to cheat. But then you think of your dude cheating and you're like, no. So maybe change it to the women can cheat day. Men
I
can.
just say everybody should. Like, just have one Sunday where you have ice cream. And then the rest of the week you get back on the diet and everything's fine.
You're all see, that would never work for me because once I get off and have ice cream, I have ice cream all week. So I would cheat. You can't open the door.
I gotta start all the way over again next week. This week is ruined. I've had ice cream once. So I gotta
Beth says, once you get into retirement age and need Social Security, pension, etc., that's when marriage is important. So there's a time. So you don't have to get married until you're older. That's basically.
I'm probably not going to get married till I'm 60, and he's going to be younger than me, so I can still send him to the store and get me alcohol and stuff.
take care of you, push you around. If
Yeah,
let's say we're wheelchair bound, let's just say,
you want
walker.
somebody to be younger than you for when you get old, so they can still like
Mhm.
pick you up and put you in bed and stuff and put you in the bathtub. You don't want two old people trying to figure out how to get you in the tub. It's not. And the men, when
That's
they get old, they don't know what to do. Trust me, I have so much knowledge about this. If the wife gets sick, the husband's at the house just not eating. He has no idea
no.
how to
That was my
cook. He's not doing
grandpa.
anything.
We had to
He's just
basically
ordering
move
out
in
every
with
day while
him.
you're getting well. There's no.
Yes, that was like my grandpa, and that would be my dad too. Like he wouldn't. He did. My grandpa didn't know where the dishwasher was. Like he didn't know. He had no idea. He didn't know the laundry. We just, to keep him in his home, we all went over there and cared for him, because that's what my grandma had done, and my mom kind of similarly takes care of my dad, and so yeah, that's, I mean, and that's
You guys
not
are
just
falling
that
apart.
generation.
Retirement age, please. We need to just date somebody 20 years younger, like these men are doing, and
Yep.
then you show them how to, change an adult diaper and make sure they get in between the folds,
Yes.
and teach them how to get you up and down out of a chair, that kind of stuff. You need a young person to do that. These old dudes are not doing that for you, okay? They're gonna give up.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure I have your book here too, Shauna.
Oh, you're
oh my god! I was like, I know I got it in my little stack here as I should have prepared. But Shauna has a hilarious. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Shauna has a hilarious book that she wrote, and it's like, remind me of the title. A bitch with a wig on. You're nothing but a bitch with a wig
nothing
on.
but a bitch with a wig on.
Yes,
I actually have it. Hold on.
Yes, so
it's close.
he has a lot of experience in this.
Oh God.
And
sorry about that.
Did you? Where can we buy this book? We can buy it on Amazon because that's where I bought it.
You can buy it on Amazon. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the link is on my page somewhere on my YouTube if they go there. But if you find me on other social media, I have it linked everywhere. It's on my link tree and whatnot. But yeah, it's on Amazon. If you search Amazon, it won't pop up. This book name will not. It won't show you this because there's too much
nothing but a
profanity.
bitch with a wig on. Yep, I love it.
This is profane. They won't let you. So you have to specifically go to it. Yeah.
Yeah, Chell knows how to wash hands. Now Chell is, since he's venturing into work at the hospital and taking care of people and stuff. Now he knows the folds because he was telling me, because he had to learn that stuff. And I was like, yep, that is that. He taught me some stuff I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, that's more folds than I thought we had, but okay.
Well, good. You got somebody that's going to help you, because people ask the wrong questions when they go on dates. Now, do you clean? It's, can you change an adult diaper, and do you know CPR? Those are the very important ones you should be asking people when you go on dates.
CPR. Exactly. And Chell had to teach me CPR because I was like, I didn't know. And he's like, you need to take a class. Like, we should know these things. Because he got in the medical field, and I'm like, I just didn't really, because you just don't think about it, but it's so freaking important. And that's why I made sure he's 4 years younger than me, because he's got to stay younger.
Yeah. I mean, imagine you are concerned about me being able to cook. I make you something so horrible that you choke on it, but I can do the Heimlich and I save your life. Now, which one's more important?
That's hot.
Let's go buy something to eat. Who cares?
Yep.
I won't put you in a home. Do you understand?
Yes, and that is so important. Like, as you get older, so I think, this should be a relationship advice. Shauna Christmas is just bringing all of the relationship knowledge, the truth of it.
Yeah, meanwhile, very single. So.
Because it's very hard right now, because it's not to find a man or woman that knows the Heimlich, CPR, and how to change an adult diaper. These are skills that should be taught.
I feel like any man who's attracted to me has a mental problem, because I don't know what y'all are. Something's wrong with you if you want to deal with this all the time. It's a hot mess. So good luck.
Well, we're also comedians, and I married a comedian. I know you dated comedians, and we're all cuckoo. So.
Yeah, I'm always shocked when people are like, "You're so nice, and you deserve nice things," and I'm like,
"What?
Me? Okay." You
That's
crazy.
that's that's why we're on stage asking strangers for approval night after night,
Oh,
asking drunk
right.
people because we don't believe that about ourselves. So we're like, not me.
Yeah. People are
No.
like, wow, you were so confident up there. I'm like, dude, I almost threw up. Are you crazy? There's no confidence. What?
Beth says that's going into my dating profile. See, we're learning this transcends housewives. This is really life and housewives. Okay. This totally is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. Robin, yes, blah blah blah. Mia moved to Potomac, but she's renting this house for 10 G's a month.
Woo.
Just buy a house, right?
Right. What is watching this show sometimes money wise, it's like when you watch Atlanta and you know how cheap stuff was there. It's like, look at my house. I spent like $500,000 on it. It's like a mansion. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh wow. It's like I remember watching like Teen Mom and like these kids bought a house in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia. Like, you can buy a house. You're 17 with a child. And you have money for a house. So it's so strange to me to watch
With
somebody be like, I
land.
want to rent a house for $10,000 a month. It's like you could just buy. I don't. It's all for TV. That's the other thing with
Yeah.
Mia. She's just. Oh,
It's
well,
TV. And she wanted to get in that Potomac zip code down the street from Karen so she could say she's in Potomac because before she was somewhere else, wherever Ashley Darby, not there, but somewhere. Because, you see like Beverly Hills Housewives. Well, Dorit doesn't live in Beverly Hills. She lives in Encino. Kyle lives in Encino. Very few of them actually live in Beverly Hills. So there was very few of the actual Potomac women who lived in Potomac, being a prestigious area to be in.
right.
Even though everywhere over there is super expensive. Ashley looking at a house in Arlington, that's going to be really expensive as well. So I don't know, but I think if you have it like that and you and Gordon are killing it with the spa or whatever the places you have all your businesses, you wouldn't. She's like, we just wanted to get into a house for our kids. No, you'd buy something.
I don't. I don't like it. It just feels so like so much more work, to just
Mm-hmm.
rent. If you have money to just buy a thing, just go buy the damn thing. Like I'm not counting your money, but I think it's just like having to say it, and be like, well, I have this stuff or this thing. It makes you look better for the TV show. And then that's how people get caught with fraud and stuff because they find
Mm-hmm.
ways to make money that's illegal so they can stunt for this show. Then the
Yep.
FBI comes to your house
Like
because
Jen
you
Shaw from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake
yes.
City. Mm-hmm.
So trying to keep up with this damn TV show and committing crimes because you want to look cool and live in this stupid ass zip code. It's like, dude, we don't know where you live.
Yes,
No one
Wendy
lives in
lives
LA.
in
Like
the
LA County.
woods.
LA
Like
County is fucking huge.
it is.
LA County has so many cities in it. You could just say I live in
Mhm.
LA and we would not know. It's
You'd be in
like
Van Nuys and we don't know. We don't
exactly.
know.
You could be in San Bernardino and it's still LA County. Like it's so far away
Yes.
from Hollywood and all that stuff. It's like, but it's all the same name, right? So we don't know if you actually live in Potomac or not. And this doesn't. I'm not really impressed. I just think it's dumb and it's a
Yeah, it's
waste of money.
dumb.
And I don't even think
Oh,
the kids
totally.
asked for it. To be honest, I think they
No,
were
they're not
probably
like
just fine where they were.
they're like, what's Potomac? Like they don't know. These are young kids. It's so ridiculous. And I think Karen rents too. And I'm just like, you guys, just buy. Just don't throw
I
your
had
money away.
I had to look up where Potomac was when the show first started because I had never heard of it.
Me neither. I looked up
So
too.
so
Mhm.
no one's gonna check the maps, guys.
Yeah.
We don't care.
But you're right though, for the show, it's like trying to keep up with the looks of it, because people were dragging Robin forever because she was out in like Baltimore or something. I mean, she was so far gone living in a townhome. And I was like, it was a nice townhome. I would be lucky to live in that nice townhome ever. But to be a housewife, I mean,
Yes. They're like, you're
um,
poor.
yes, but I mean, Wendy lives in the woods, but her house is nice. We don't know where it is, but the housewives always complain that it is a drive. But Wendy Osefo, she's a successful lady. Her husband's a successful man. It's a nice house, and they own it. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
if you
sure.
want a nice house, you gotta move to the forest
Yep, you got to move way out into the woods. DGF, thank you. Drop the link for Shauna's book. So there's the link, you guys, in the chat. If you want to pick that up, I highly recommend that you do. Where MI says, so I find it highly suspicious that she is renting, but still invested over $60,000 in updates, right? She updated the rental. And now she's on social media, Shauna, claiming that the business, the family business, but technically that she said her husband ran, that his siblings took it and now they are destitute. Her and Gordon and them. Like she's been making crazy claims lately on social media. So I don't know if I haven't substantiated any of these or seen if they're substantiated, but apparently then people came back from the family and were like, this was never really just his company and we took her out of it. It's just so much. It's bad financial moves.
Why are you, if it's not your house, why are you even updating it? For what? Right? Who is it for? Shouldn't the person you're renting from do the updates? Right? It's not your house. Make them update it.
Yeah, it's not an investment for you. You're gonna have to give that home back to them that they own. So you're increasing the property value of a place that's not yours.
Maybe it's Ashley and Mike's LLC house.
Oh my God. I think this is a new conspiracy. Yes, it's their LLC house. Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of crazy business deals, Wendy meets up with Peter Thomas. Peter is thirsty. Nene was so right about Peter. Like he's the thirstiest of the thirst of these house husbands. So he's got bar one, which I think one of his bar ones or two have since closed down. But apparently he's this great business guy.
Where did he move them to? I thought one was like in North Carolina or something. Or
yeah, I think the Charlotte one might have closed. That's what the internet was saying, but I didn't check on that, guys. So don't quote me on that. But he's there helping Wendy. She wants to open up a Nigerian lounge, and she says Peter wants to be a partner, and she's like, okay, I think we could have books in it by all Black authors, and then open it up between 2 and 4 to just kids.
He was like,
different businesses. The kids thing was really like, no.
She's like, we're gonna make it a college, but also
right?
A bar.
Like
it'll be a museum, library, sports bar.
Lit by only my candles, which are now 5 wicks, 5 wick candles. It's Wendy's trying Candle to do the most.
Lounge.
And she has
read by candlelight.
Right.
But
she
also
has so much too. Like she, being a correspondent, all of her education, like, and I see that like her point was she did that all for her parents and it's what they wanted of her life. And she wanted, a different type of life. So I think the first season we saw Wendy was that Wendy trying to abide by what her Nigerian parents wanted from her and the American dream. And then what her actual American dream is. And we learned it's candles, boobies. I mean, now booty, it's lounges, booty,
She's an influencer.
She is. She
just wants to be. She wants to be like Mia, but with lots of PhDs.
Yes, it is, because Wendy is just. I mean, watching her at a reunion is beautiful. The way she can just tear down these women and their any kind of argument they have that just is like a baseless, and or question them, kind of when she was talking to Ashley about colorism, and she's like, so you don't think colorism exists on the show, but yet it exists in the world. How is it not going to creep into, if it exists everywhere else we are, but not, how's it not going to creep into this? And Ashley's like, well, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
But the way Wendy put it out there, I was like, oh, Wendy, you are an educator. Like it was just like, of course.
She's very smart, and I like moments like that. But now it's like she's trying to be like ratchet, and so it's like I don't like that.
She wants to be. Maybe she's like, I can have layers. I'm not just the smart
Definitely
woman.
Not hating on that. And that I think the transition was kind of abrupt, where it was like, boom, all of a sudden it's like a completely different person. I could see like maybe easing your way into being ratchet, but like you went from like PhD to just like Cardi B, and it was like a lot for people.
PhD to Cardi B. It was. I agree with you. And I think that's why a lot of her, the other housewives were questioning, is everything okay? And that's why Nicki Minaj is like, is this because your husband's following allegedly all these booty models? Is that why you got the boobs? And she was like, no, my butt's not even that big. And so I think Wendy is kind of in a period where she doesn't really know who she is. And you can tell by all the things she's diving into that she doesn't know who Wendy is, because she's trying to be the Wendy that everyone else around her wants her to be, and not the Wendy that she wants to be. So
that's got to be rough, having growing pains in front of everybody. But it's much better just be like, I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I do that every night when I go on stage. My opening joke is like, listen, I don't know.
I didn't prepare for this set. Okay? I don't have a set list.
Yeah,
I'm just winging
expectations down a little bit, because I might not know what I'm doing. Okay, and then when I do that, then it's fine. Then people are okay with whatever happens. But
yes, they'll accept that you are admitting that we're just on this ride together. Let's show me a little grace, and they'll show you grace. But if you're like, I'm the boss of this, but then you're like, I also sell Scentsy candles. Okay. And then I also am doing, do you guys want to buy some leggings? And then I'm going to have a lounge where it's also going to be a youth place for young people to go. But it's also going to be a library.
Yeah. And it's even your husband was like, so you don't have a business plan. You just want to sell candles. You don't have like a proposal. You don't have like number. You don't have, she's like, I was going to ask you for, no, I'm not going to do what? Like she just says, I want to make candles. Like, you're Eddie. So smart. Why did you think of all the things that go into it?
And he wants to be supportive, but it's kind of like, you're at the point now where you could probably just get a brand deal with a candle company and make more money than actually investing all your money into a candle company. Shay B is saying, I never want to assume, but I have to say, Mia is giving me vibes that it's not going to add up in the end. Me too. Miss Toby says he has a bar one in Miami and Baltimore. Are those doing well? Because I thought they said that the Charlotte one closed. Where MI says she also wants a bankruptcy if she is dealing with Peter. I mean, Peter had money issues when he was married to Cynthia. Like, that was a big point of contention in their marriage.
So, I liked Peter too. I thought he was cute or whatever. Not like that, but like his little Caribbean thing. And then you're just like, oh, you're just like a damn freeloader mess.
Yep. At first, though, yeah, you're like, oh, okay. Why does Cynthia's mom and sister, why are they hiding the marriage certificate? Why are they?
I don't want to give it up.
That should have been a red flag, that when on your wedding day, your mom and your sister,
some damn haters, but now
no, they
didn't jump franchises on everybody.
Apparently, and we might see that he dated or tried to date maybe some Potomac housewives. I don't know. Peter's gonna find a way. He'll find his way back in. And
him and Mike should hang out.
They really shouldn't. He really should. Michael Darby, call Peter. He gets it. Okay, so yeah, and then he tells her, like, you have to invest $200,000. You'll be 20% owner, but it'll take 2 years for you to see a return. All the property I'm looking at is like $1.5 million. Try to talk to your husband. I'm thinking, Eddie's never going to go for this. No.
She seemed surprised when he was giving her the numbers, like, this is what's going to happen and you won't see that back for a long time. She's like,
yeah.
Oh.
Peter's like, basically, your investment is paying off any bankruptcies I have, things that I have looming. And so don't tell Cynthia we talked. There you go.
Why is she even meeting with him? She never watched him on the other show? She doesn't know who he is?
I don't know. I mean, the only explanation they gave is they were at an event together or something through another friend, Wendy, and then he overheard her talking about this Nigerian lounge library youth center he wanted to invest. And I was just like, Wendy, you have the best of intention. I love that about Wendy, because truly I believe Wendy is one of the few housewives on any of these franchises who actually wants to make like a positive difference in the world, you know? So I'm like, what?
She's like a dumb smart person though, because she's like super like educated, but she's like, she doesn't even think about the business decision she makes. It's just strange to just like have an idea, but not try to map out how it works or who you're doing business with, or if that even makes sense. Like all that stuff just seems like stuff you should ask. You know
Definitely.
what I mean? But she's just like, Peter, let's meet up and talk about that. I'm not talking to Peter. Why is Peter here?
Again, why is Peter there?
Yeah, why are you bringing him on the show, Wendy? Why? What is that
Stop
for?
it. First Charisse, now Peter. Oh my goodness, this season's so messy. Giselle shows us the new, did you like her new driveway and her new entryway and her
I thought it was
possible
cute. I was just glad
backyard?
it was finished.
Yeah.
It was cute.
The extension's still very weird to me.
Yeah.
It looks just like it doesn't match. But again, I could never afford a house as nice as that. She's doing great. Good for Giselle, but it is the extension thing always throws me off.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like all this stuff just like I'm adding onto my house and now my house is big and I'm so rich. It's
Yeah.
like, but this is stupid. And it doesn't
Yeah,
even
just
like
leave
goes.
it.
It doesn't go together. This is a
No,
weird
it's
this is a weird
weird.
attachment thing. I don't I can't. Put me on the show already so I can just be rich for no reason.
Right? And make really bad decisions. And then maybe I'll also go to jail, like many of the housewives. They tend
Yes.
to, have to go to a trial. Either way, then you come out, Bravo takes you back, you write a book, you make even more money. So really, is it even that bad? It's
There
not.
you go.
This is when we see Giselle's daughters who are turning 16. And again, they have been the wonderful relief we need sometimes with Giselle. Just they totally call their mom out. I love it. But it's like in a loving way. They love their mom, but they're like, this is ridiculous. What are you wearing? Because
This
oh my God.
screenshot of the side eye is so funny. It's like how they're always looking at her like, oh mom.
You're like, oh jeez,
No.
mom. She holds up this dress for I mean, Giselle has, for such a beautiful woman, the style is, and we have to talk about this. Okay, Shauna, what is this chunky? What in the chunky highlight is going on here?
Giselle gets dragged every year for her style, and I don't think she's learned anything. Like, is anybody helping her?
She said she has a stylist. I'd fire her.
What?
I would start her on fire. Like, I would be so mad at her. Giselle, I know chunky highlights were a thing. I was alive for chunky highlights. These
I
are
don't like
extra chunky.
They feel like they should be like on an emo girl. I feel like it's not.
Yes.
It
Avril
doesn't feel like
Lavigne
it
would
should
have
be on-
this.
Huh?
Avril Lavigne would have this, Shauna.
Yeah. It feels more like that. It feels like it doesn't match what's going on. I mean, it's just a wig. I mean, you can just put on a different one. I don't think I like the chunky highlights on it. It's too much going on in general too,
this?
just with the outfit.
Yeah.
And trust me, I don't have any. I wear jeans and a tank top to most things that I do. I'm not anybody, but I'm also 6'3", and it's hard to dress my body. So fuck you. But
but these are housewives. They're held to a different standard because it is about like
right.
the fashion and stuff. And Giselle just gets it wrong every time. Oh, Miss
Yeah,
Toby, she was your first lady at the church.
Oh wow.
Oh, so she's always was like this then.
It seems like it's been part of her journey. Is just never getting it right. So that's probably the only like consistent thing about Giselle is that everybody hates the way she dressed.
She is consistent. I mean, that is true. Oh my goodness. So Karen, okay, so then we got to get to Karen's party, and Karen is doing her party, and she has all these different names for it, and it's like spring fling dingaling, or what is it? It's this one. It's
spring fling kickoff celebration of life taco party event.
I mean, love fantastic.
I love all the words. I think the editors of the show are so messy and cheeky and stuff, the way they edit stuff too. But I imagine them putting that there and just making it no like quotes or any like funny emojis. Like, this is very serious. Okay. This is Karen's spring fling kickoff celebration of life taco party event. Okay. You RSVP. Okay.
Oh I kind of want to ask, there's a stand-up comedian out of Atlanta. Now she's in New York. She's super funny. And she was like producer on this show for quite a while. I don't know if it was like what level of producer, but she definitely was there interviewing, going to their home, stuff like that. And I would always try to ask her questions. And I would love to see just how like shady they even need to be, because I feel like a lot of the housewives just bring on themselves. But she worked with the Potomac ladies, and so she's told me a couple things, and like who's the most fun to work with and who's not. And it's the people you would assume were fun to work with are fun to work with. The people you assume are not when you're
Yeah.
at their homes and stuff. And people who are, just yeah, so stuff like that. But this party is just, it's a Karen Huger celebration.
Yeah, I think I would have more fun working with Karen. She seems more fun. But
Yes, I heard
even like,
that was.
did you ever watch? There was like a scripted show about it was about The Bachelor. It was called
Yes, I
Unreal.
watched all those seasons of that. Yep.
Yeah, just what they do to make the people on TV react to stuff. It's like pulling people aside and saying, "Oh, I heard she said this," and then they turn the camera on. They do the
Yeah.
confessional. They say, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And then they catch them saying something in confessional, and then kind of splice it into what happened in the episode to make it look like it's like just super messy. And
Mm-hmm.
the way they put it together is so interesting. But yeah, this this little
The
Shyamalan is
behind
so
the
funny to me.
Yeah, the
It's
behind the scenes of that. Like obviously Unreal, fictional show, but a lot of people have said that is actually, especially with The Bachelor, they are
yeah,
so dirty behind the scenes and they get bonuses for if their person makes it this far. And so
yeah,
it's really dirty and interesting.
yeah.
But I
Ooh.
imagine Housewives is, kind of the same dirty. Oh, we talked a little bit about the Ashley Darby, her family
Yes.
and poor Uncle Lump. So yeah. So my favorite though is when Wendy goes to Giselle and tries to give her a hug, like, how are you? And Giselle's like, no, no,
Why? I
no.
don't even know what she's mad about. What happened?
I think it's the last season, she felt as though Wendy was dragging her and her family the whole season, with
Oh,
the
right.
Jamal stuff, and so she's like, that's not how Giselle works. Like, I'm not. And I was like, oh, not even a hug, not even a housewives hug, one of the fake, like.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, hey.
I love when they already start. I think it was what's her name? She was a friend of the show last season. Oh, I forget. She was at the party. She was really fashionable. She was at the reunion. I forget her name.
A scholar.
Ascala, yes. She came and she went right and she's like, and they all do it like every friend just like leaned in with it. Very early, like before the person even leaned in, she's like, like a scala. But so they all do the fake shit, but Giselle is very mad at Wendy.
I wonder why she took. I mean, I feel like everybody was kind of going at Giselle, and so I wonder why she took it harder from Wendy than like everybody else who was talking about her. You know what I
Probably
mean?
because Wendy's the best at it, so it carries the most weight. And she does, Giselle, she could be like we talked about earlier, like, she can be funny and shady for sure, but there's certain people, like you said, she just can't compete with or keep up with, and Wendy's definitely one of them.
Huh?
When
And
it
now
like a
she's
war of the
upset.
words, yeah, she can't with
Yeah, that's
Wendy.
true.
No,
But
so she
I wasn't
probably made her
expecting her
look
to be
dumb.
like, "Don't talk to me." Like, oh,
Right? We have to work
okay,
together. What are you talking about? Let's talk about it. What?
okay,
Oh
girl.
my gosh. Let's see. DGF said Giselle's fashion sense is very much that of a woman dressing from her heyday. She doesn't realize that this is her heyday. Yeah. It's like I mean, you're right about that. Ashley comes in. I don't have a shot of Ashley's dress, but Ashley came in like in a Little Mermaid cut.
Mhm.
I mean, looking fantastic, but also like she's getting a divorce. But she's not. Right?
But then she's not saying it. They were all mad at her for being like, are you buying a house? Are you getting the are you getting what are you guys doing?" That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
She was craving some Darby dick or whatever, coochie
Yeah.
craving, she
Coochie
said.
craving.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And then we have the Ocephos looking just stunning, both of
Yeah.
them here. Was this one from the thing? Okay, so then Mia comes, and then that's when they start talking about, okay, so Charisse is there. So everyone's there. The friends of the shows are there. Her friend Jacqueline. That might actually be the friend Jacqueline right here behind Mia.
Oh, the back.
That she's going to have issues with or is having issues with now on social media, calling each other out. But now this is when the ladies, especially Giselle, she just got done telling Ashley, I think you're lying to me about the divorce stuff, like you
Right.
said. And then now she's going to tell Mia, and I think what you're doing is not good. And Karen, you agree. And Karen's like, well, technically I didn't say. And then it cut to Karen. She didn't. She was just like, I think we should hear her out before we make the judgment because she is a friend of Mia. But Giselle, being messy, of course, wants to drag Karen. Like, no, Karen, you were saying that she is a cancer scammer. And she's like, no, I didn't say that. So now Giselle, we end with Giselle kind of calling Mia out because Mia's mom was like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, I just have some lumps in my lung and I'm waiting on more tests and it might be something, but it's not something.
I love
and Mia gets offended.
Is this the cancer? Or do you have the cancer? Or you have it? Is this the cancer here or no cancer? What's going on?
Yeah, what is happening? What is it, Mia?
Is this how cancer looks? You look great.
Yeah, you look very healthy and good. I mean, I don't know. And she's like, well, this is the maybe kind of a little bit, probably not cancer, where you just put it out there to garner a little sympathy. You know, you're in your feels about it. It's kind of like when I would email post, and I'll do it from time to time, but I used to be worse when I was younger, where one time I was just mad about being in LA and I just posted on Facebook, I'm moving to LA and with a peace sign. And then everyone started messaging Chell, like, congratulations. And he was at work. Because he didn't know I was having a breakdown, you know, just like, fuck this place. I'm moving to New York. And then he's like, what? Did you put something on social media? I was like, oh, yeah, I'll delete it. But you're like in your feelings and you're just like, look, I'm moving to New York with a piece, just thinking like, I want to do that. But also I wanted attention because I was like lonely and I felt bad about where I was at the time. And so I wanted people to reach out like, you okay? You know?
Yeah, that's one thing. But if you said, guys, I have cancer and I'm also moving to Australia, you're like, whoa, like it's
where they have the best cancer doctors. Thank you, bye. You know. Yeah, Mia, but she jumps right back at Giselle, and then that's where the episode ends.
To be continued.
To be continued, and we'll see next Sunday what happens. But it does look like I text you that screenshot from Twitter, and we both were geeking out about all the drama that is already, you know, we're getting divorce, cheating accusations, you know, fraud, pathological lying, Giselle's wardrobe. Like, it is so bad out here. It is really, really bad. Joleen, that's like saying, yes, someone's a little bit pregnant. Like, that'd be like me going, you guys, I might be posting, or like I am when I don't know I am yet. Like, I haven't taken the test, but I feel a little pregnant.
Right. It's gas.
Yeah. And then
that's what my mom always says. It's gas. I'm like, Mom, my chest hurts. It's probably gas. I'm like, bro, what? Why is there gas in my chest cavity? What's going on?
Are your mom and my mom the same person? Because I remember getting a mental health diagnosis and my mom goes, you're just hungry. You're just hungry. But it turned out they were wrong about the diagnosis. So I was like, dang, I think she does know something. And then when I had to go get a colonoscopy, she was like, you just have a sensitive tummy. And then they came back and they're like, you have a sensitive tummy. So maybe moms do. I mean, your mom might be right.
She just has gas, everybody.
Everybody's got gas.
She just needs to take a probiotic and just let it work its course.
Yes. Well, I had so much fun covering this first episode. I'm so excited to spend every Sunday night with Shauna Christmas. You guys drop the link for her channel. I also linked her channel in the description of this video, and she's tagged in the title. So it's so easy. All you gotta do is click on her name, hit subscribe, and we have a link for your book. And just, you know, we'll all become, everyone will get so used to you being here, and it'll be like, I don't know what I'm saying, but it'll be amazing. And follow us everywhere. You. By the time I get like an hour and a half into the stream, I'm just like, now my mouth, English isn't working for me. But I'm so happy you want to do this with me, and we get to talk Potomac, because I haven't covered Potomac. I covered it like 2 seasons ago, and I didn't cover it last season, and I missed it. I watched it, but talking about it because it's so good. Yay. It's such a good franchise.
I'm happy to join you. This is going to be so fun. So
yay. So we'll be back every Sunday night after it airs. So probably more like 9:15, because like it'll go 8 to 9. And then, but today we got like a supersized episode where it didn't end until 9:15. So make sure you guys smash that like, leave a comment after the video post, because that helps us in the algorithm, getting out to more Potomac and Bravo TV lovers. Again, go follow Shauna Christmas everywhere. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. And thank you so much. And I'm going to hit the outro, but don't go anywhere, Shauna, because I want to say goodbye to you after the outro.
Thanks,
but I'm
everybody.
ending the live. Good night.
If you like what you see.